They say disgust is one of the strongest human emotions. It's the feeling that makes your stomach churn, your throat tighten, and your mind whisper, "Stay away." Now, imagine being told that something you'd rather avoid at all costs is not only consumed, but praised as sacred, healing, even divine. In India, millions of people believe that cow urine, yes, urine, is not filth but medicine, not waste, but holy nectar. And this strange practice has roots that go back thousands of years. So the question isn't just why Indians drink cow urine, but how did an idea so bizarre survive, thrive, and even grow into a billion-rupee industry today? The story begins not with medicine, but with mythology. In Hinduism, the cow has always been more than an animal. It is Gau Mata, the mother. Ancient texts like the Rig Veda and Atharvaveda describe cows as symbols of wealth, purity, and even cosmic order. Every part of the cow was seen as useful. Its milk nourished children, its dung was used as fuel and fertilizer, its ghee burned in holy rituals, and yes, its urine, or gamutra, was said to have the power to cleanse body and soul. To modern ears, this might sound unbelievable, but in the ancient world, people didn't separate medicine from spirituality. A cure wasn't just about chemicals or pills. It was about balance between the body, the mind, and the universe. And according to Ayurveda, the traditional Indian system of medicine, cow urine had a role to play in maintaining that balance. Now here's the twist. For centuries, gamutra wasn't considered disgusting at all. Ayurvedic texts recorded its uses, from treating fevers to aiding digestion, from healing wounds to even sharpening the mind. It was classified as a universal purifier. To drink, it was to swallow a liquid believed to be infused with divine energy. But it wasn't just about health. It was about faith. To Hindus, the cow was untouchable, a living temple. And if the cow itself was sacred, then whatever came from it, even what others might call waste, was transformed into something holy. The practice carried through the centuries. By the time the medieval era rolled around, India's scholars and healers were writing entire treatises on how cow urine could be distilled, mixed with herbs, and turned into remedies. Some texts even claimed it could cure leprosy, protect against aging, and cleanse sins. Meanwhile, in villages across India, rituals began to emerge. At sunrise, devotees would sip a spoonful of gamutra as a daily act of purification, almost like drinking holy water. The bitter, acrid taste was seen not as a curse, but a blessing. The stronger the revulsion, the greater the act of devotion. Fast forward to the colonial era, and suddenly this ancient practice collided with Western science. British doctors and missionaries looked on with horror, calling it barbaric, primitive, even insane. To them, urine was waste and a story. But to Indians who had been following these rituals for generations, it wasn't so simple. How could something that had been praised in holy scriptures and preserved in Ayurveda for thousands of years suddenly be dismissed as nonsense? The clash between tradition and modernity only made the practice more symbolic. For some, drinking cow urine wasn't just about health anymore. It was about identity, about holding on to something uniquely Indian in the face of colonial ridicule. And then came the 20th century. The world was changing, India was gaining independence, but the cow never lost its place in society. If anything, its sacred status grew stronger. Cow protection movements spread, and with them, the belief in the power of its byproducts. By the 1960s and 70s, something remarkable happened. Scientists in India began studying cow urine under microscopes. Laboratories reported finding antibacterial properties, traces of urea, and minerals that in small doses could have some effect on the body. Suddenly, what had been dismissed as superstition began to gain a thin layer of scientific validation. And that was enough to spark a revolution. Today, gamutra isn't just drunk in villages. It's bottled, packaged, and sold across India as an official product. Pharmacies stock it. Ayurveda shops recommend it. Entire companies have built their brand around cow urine therapy, claiming it can fight diabetes, asthma, even cancer. Some government-backed institutions have even promoted it as an alternative medicine. And here's the bizarre twist. It's not just drunk straight. You'll find cow urine mixed into tonics, soaps, shampoos, even floor cleaners. What began as a religious ritual has turned into an industry that makes millions every year. But the story isn't so simple. Critics, especially modern doctors, argue that the health claims are exaggerated, even dangerous. Scientific studies have found some antimicrobial effects, yes, but nowhere near the miraculous cures its advocates promise. International health organizations refuse to recognize it as medicine. For many, drinking urine, whether cows or humans, is simply unhygienic. And yet, faith is stubborn. If you ask believers why they drink it, their answers aren't always about science. Some will say it keeps them healthy. Others will say it cleanses their soul. And many will simply say it is sacred, and that is enough. The paradox here is fascinating. To one person, cow urine is filth. To another, it is nectar. The same yellow liquid that makes one person gag is cherished by another as a divine gift. And the gap between those two views isn't just about biology. It's about culture, faith, and the human ability to turn even the most unlikely substance into something meaningful. So why do Indians drink cow urine? The answer lies somewhere between history and faith, medicine and mythology. Because thousands of years ago, their ancestors looked at the cow and saw not an animal, but a mother. Because Ayurveda taught that even the humblest substances could heal if approached with reverence. Because colonial ridicule turned old customs into symbols of resistance. And because in today's India, tradition still carries a weight heavier than science alone. And maybe, just maybe, the real story isn't about cow urine at all. Maybe it's about how humans everywhere take what others find disgusting and make it sacred. Romans drank gladiator blood, believing it cured epilepsy. Europeans smeared pigeon droppings on wounds. And in India, people drank cow urine, believing it was the essence of health itself. When you zoom out, the practice stops looking like madness and starts looking like something universal. The eternal human search for meaning, even in the most unlikely places. So the next time you hear someone scoff at this tradition, remember, disgust is powerful, yes, but so is belief. And in the strange theater of history, it's belief that often wins.